We are witnessing today an unprecedented global tragedy in the footprints of the COVID-19 crisis. It's a virus that not only is directly affecting the lives and health of millions, but also the livelihoods and education of billions of people, especially the estimated 2 billion people living in fragile and conflict-affected states. Really, the idea with the meeting today, but it's to hear directly from some key actors. So we have representatives from the Southern Transitional Council, from the National Democratic Front of the Philippines, from the Syrian Democratic Forces, and from peace and humanitarian practitioners also. What were your reasons to adhere to the global call?
We in the National Democratic Front of the Philippines responded to the call of the United Nations Secretary General for a global ceasefire of warring parties in order to deal effectively with the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, he said with regards to the struggle in the Philippines that he hoped that the ceasefires would help in solving the political problem and to have a lasting solution.
We see this call absolutely as the Syrian Democratic Forces. We see a very holy chance for peace. I believe all people all over the world are looking for chances for to live in peace and stability. As the war is all over the world, and as the pandemic is threatening all the world, so the world is in need of global peace.
We were one of the first who respected the Secretary General call for ceasefire, and we thought at the beginning that because of the humanitarian situation in our area, I mean, we don't need COVID is just an added problem. I mean, we have so much problem in Yemen. We have so much. It's not only the COVID. We have the cholera. We have the dengue fever. We have other diseases on our plate. So it's just an added thing to us. So we thought maybe it's the right time. We face this enemy that it's an opportunity for us to get together and fight that. Maybe a hope for peace.
We can't put too high expectations that a humanitarian ceasefire will automatically lead or create an opportunity for political dialogue. The reality is that humanitarian ceasefires, unilateral ceasefires, are quite frequent in armed conflicts, but very rarely lead to political dialogue. So these are two very different issues. Obviously, when there is a unilateral ceasefire, like the ones that have been declared, for instance, by the NPA in the Philippines or the ELN in Colombia, it is a political sign of goodwill. But these have happened many times in the past without leading to negotiations. So the fact that political dialogue does not follow immediately is not necessarily a failure of the effort. I think it is always good for people suffering from armed conflict to have a relief.
I think that is a very good passage into the second part of this panel, which is about the actual situation in the countries and the response.
For us, as for all other actors are present on the ground, it's a crisis that adds on top of other crises. So it has weakened, and many participants already mentioned that it has weakened the weak and it has strengthened the strong. All over the world, the ICRC is in contact with something like 400 armed groups. So we have a lot of contacts and exchanges of all kinds with weapon bearers, non-state weapon bearers, which is also an opportunity to pass right information. Information that can help prevent, that can help treat, that can help. Information is also aid sometimes. So this is something that we have done in a number of contexts, and then we'll continue to do specifically related to COVID?
From our side, as an STC, we tried our best. We tried to make awareness campaigns. We tried to make sanitization to the institutes. We also tried to prepare a hospital especially for treatment for COVID-19, and now with the help of the MSF, I think now they are in control with that. We tried to facilitate for the WHO also to provide with. They just provided 2,000 test kits plus 7 ventilators. But as you know, this is not enough at all in our areas. So that needs lots of help, lots of international involvement in these areas. From our part, we'll try to provide the container for all this help from the international community, and we are providing, as Irénée said, they want the grant, they want passage and security, and I think we can do that.
يدنجي مخابي مع برنجو أمكار بن بلا بإمكانه خا معدات طبية.
Unfortunately, also all the border crossing are closed. Even if we would like to bring by our own means equipment or any humanitarian aid or support, we cannot do because all the border crossings are closed.
رغم ذلك هم دالي جواتنا من تبيدا هم دالي منظماتنا من تبيدا تهميشة كي فرج ديش هري ما مرها.
So internationally and even regionally, our area is really isolated and neglected.
روشة عقوبات إقتصادية في سوريا يجمل حموها بالن يكونها مهبالن ويتماشى زيارة.
The economic situation in Syria and what Syria is facing, everybody knows what's going on. So the Syrian currency, the money, Syrian money is low, are losing their value, and the dollar is too high, which affects the economic of our region.
مرو بدين كاري احتياج خوي غذائي فيك بيني وافجي طبعا وسن منعطى مروبا باندور بكي كون كاربن الهمبري فيروسي بلا درخبدن.
So people here cannot afford to buy clothes, to basic needs. This will affect their immunity to protect from the virus, COVID-19.
Coming back to and I'll be very brief, to the negative impact of the COVID-19 on the situation in Western Sahara. And I'm a humanitarian, we're working in the field of mine action. So we are trying to mitigate the risk of that is imposed by mines and other explosive remnants of war on the local population. Our operations has been suspended. Clearance operations of mines have been suspended since the 19th of March. So you could have imagined how many mines, how many minefields and cluster munition areas we've been cleared if there is no COVID-19.
The states are outsourcing too much their role to the civil society. They are giving too much saying that civil society should do this, and then we are getting money. I'm also civil society. Now I think this is not correct. I've been saying this, that states can play role. We can support them. We shouldn't, as civil society, play the state's role. Of course, armed opposition actors, they can also do a lot. They are part of the conflict. They have the responsibilities. They can be creative. They can be more flexible. They can do some concessions if needed during this period. If not now, when?
The concluding words is, if not now, when? So indeed, and thank you for everyone for participating today.